Shut up and sit down.
And welcome to the People's Review, hosted by me, Jose, and my good friend
Dylan. Yay!
Dylan. How you doing today?
I'm here. That's how I'm doing. I'm recovering from vaccine shot number 2, which is the main side effect is me just being tired and lost. It literally took us about 15 minutes for us to start this podcast because my brain broke.
That's what happens. I also got the shot on Saturday. Oh no, Friday. It was Friday I got the shot, and then Saturday I just was wasted. Honestly, I felt like the worst thing I had ever gotten in my life. But hopefully you'll start feeling better soon.
Yeah, it hasn't. I haven't had I wouldn't call this serious side effects. I just really want to take a nap. But so I got my Red Bull here. I'm going to be drinking some Red Bull. I'm going to cut out my drinking sound so no one can hear them. And luckily, I'm excited to talk about Cowboy Bebop because that shit good.
It's very good. Not only is it very good, it's also just a phenomenal piece of work. And the music score is amazing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the characters.
Music's so central to the whole thing. I mean, from the name of the ship that the characters fly on is called the Bebop. The names are all the episodes are music related. We start with Asteroid Blues, Honky Tonk Woman, Stray Dog Strut. Everything's sort of interwoven into everything, which is really good. From the opening theme song to all the other kind of bluesy tracks and moodier music for more serious moments. All weaves together so well.
It does. And I honestly can't say more good things about this show. This is probably my 5th rewatch now.
I know I've watched it at least a couple times. It's real good. It's real good stuff. It deserves a lot of the hype surrounding it, for sure. I'm not trying to be here to overhype it, not that it needs it, but it's a really high quality piece of TV show, piece of anime. I don't know.
It's definitely very high quality, and it's I feel it's one of those animes that it's very mainstream. You could talk to somebody who's not really into anime, and they would be like, "Yeah, I know Cowboy Bebop. I've watched it."
Yeah, definitely more attuned to Western sensibilities, let's say, because there's a whole lot of anime out there. Most people in America basically have seen Dragon Ball, Cowboy Bebop, maybe some of the Akira. Maybe they watched Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, Naruto. But there's a whole world of other anime, and this avoids a lot of the. I'm not trying to sound judgmental, but a lot of the more embarrassing anime tropes, as in schoolgirls with really short shorts and tits popping out, where it's hey, these are children. It avoids being embarrassing like some animes. Not once again, watch what you watch. I'm not here to judge anybody, but it's more, I could show this show to my parents and they wouldn't think less of me.
Definitely not like a lot of animes where it's all schoolgirls and then huge knockers right in your face every 5 seconds. It's definitely one of those.
That's called hentai. That's different. That's a different subgenre.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't go into all the other animes where it's basically just fan service where they, show girls in bikinis and
there's a little bit of fan service here. Maybe,
oh yeah,
but it has it incorporates some of those elements, but not to an extreme. And of course, Japanese culture is very different in their sensibilities and what they like to watch and play as far as games and stuff. And shows and all that stuff's a little bit different, but this definitely has more Western sensibilities, with the blues and the jazz music sort of originating in America too, so kind of ties that into the more kind of an anime Western type vibe.
Definitely one of the first animes that were really coming out to the States. So this released in October 24, 1998 in Japan and September 3rd, 2001 in the US.
Yeah, I think the anime boom started more in the early 90s. as far as like Americans finding out about anime and things like that, with your Ghost in the Shell and Akira.
Right, but we
Akira
weren't
was
getting
huge for stuff.
the dubs. We didn't really start getting dubs until 2001, 2002.
Yeah, early 2000s when you got Toonami. You watch Toonami at all?
Oh, I love Toonami. Fun fact, the guy who voices Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop also voiced Tom in Toonami.
No!
Yes.
You're lying to me.
I'm not lying to you, just like how he voiced someone in that terrible game, Final Fantasy 15.
Shut up. We're not... all right, so just a little People's Review lore. I love Final Fantasy 15, and Jose has nonstop made fun of me since I admitted this to him. So any chance he gets to dunk on me in Final Fantasy 15, he takes it. Though I will admit, when I looked up the character name, I'm like, I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Yeah, because it's not a game you really care to remember any of the characters, you know? It's just
Yes,
one of those
you do.
boring games.
Ignis, Gladiolus, Prompto, The Boys,
Oh my god, you're boring me.
Aranea, Lady Luna Freya. Don't start. This is a Cowboy Bebop episode, not a Final Fantasy 15 episode.
Anyways.
Don't start with me, Mr. Jose.
I don't know what you just said or any of the words. They just weren't comprehensible to me, so we'll continue on with the episode.
Oh my god. You're the worst.
You know you love me, baby.
Yeah, of course. But the voice actor, getting back to the voice actor, Stephen Bloom, who, like you said, has voiced many characters, I'm not sure if he still holds it, but received the Guinness World Record in 2012 for having the most video game voice acting credits ever. So he's a big-time voice actor, and his voice really, it's really, in this show, his performance of Spike, I think, is really notable because he encapsulates all of Spike's subtleties in the voice, and the voice really brings it out as we see through the episodes.
Oh, definitely. I couldn't think of a better person to cast as Spike's voice actor, honestly.
Especially since a lot of the dubbed or these early dubbed animes, the like English dubs are sort of legendarily terrible in a lot of ways. Like go back and watch some early like Yu-Gi-Oh, or the Naruto English voice that sounds like he chain smokes. I'm Naruto. Believe it. That's not it at all, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you've seen the show, you know what I mean.
I've seen Naruto. I've seen the first series, and I've watched a little bit of the second series, Naruto Shippuden? I think that's how you say.
Are you a big Boruto fan?
No, not really. I was just kind of watching it just to like see how it acts.
See how it evolves.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, watching Dragon Ball GT because you watch Dragon Ball Z.
Pretty much, yeah. Like you watch GT because, Dragon Ball Z, you thought it was a continuance, but in truth, it was just like real trash.
It wasn't that bad.
It was like real trash.
There's good moments.
But Naruto definitely has a good amount of filler in it. I was watching it off and on, kind of more like a background noise.
You know what's another cool anime? Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, you're right. Instead of talking about all these other animes, we should probably start focusing on Cowboy Bebop Episode 1, Asteroid Blues.
Asteroid Blues. And, it's really, this first episode really does a great job of setting up not only the world, but these two characters as well. Basically, in this first intro scene, you meet the two characters of Spike and Jet. Spike is a character voiced by Stephen Blum. Jet is a more serious character. He's sort of flying the ship. And basically everything you need to know is about these two characters' relationship is told to you through this conversation they have at the beginning.
Yeah, the conversation where he talks about the bounty that they just got, and why aren't you bringing me beef in my beef stir fry?
Oh yeah, we should say these guys are bounty hunters. We didn't even say that these guys are bounty hunters.
Yeah, so Jet and Spike are both bounty hunters, and they live on the ship called Bebop. And
Bebop!
And
Bebop!
What the fuck is that?
Bebop!
Oh,
sorry, this is silly. But yeah, like you said, they live on the ship called Bebop, and sort of kind of down on the luck characters. But basically through this conversation, you learn that Spike is lazy, quiet, laid back, and reckless. And Jet is the more serious character. He's trying to basically do the business end of setting up the, here's the bounty, here's what we're going to do, here's where we got to go. And Spike is sort of a typical anime protagonist where he's lazy, really skilled, and also very hungry, which he mentions throughout these first 3 episodes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're a bounty hunter, you're going to be hungry all the time, You got to get them snacks.
Well, you're eating full-on meals, man. The guy's eating nothing but bell peppers.
I know, I mean...
Which is like a running joke through this episode, is that Jet is preparing bell peppers and beef, but they don't have the money to afford beef, so they just eat bell peppers, which Spike complains about. And it sort of adds to that storytelling I'm talking about, where he asks Jet, why can't we buy beef? What happened to the money? And Jet has to patiently explain that, like, you crashed that ship, which you had to pay for. We had to repair the store, which you destroyed on that bounty. So all the money that we got is gone. So it's, that a bit of like there's a quote from Red Letter Media that sort of describes this, where they say, you didn't notice it, but your brain did. Where you're watching this, and you're just watching the scene and the dialogue, but your brain is sort of processing these other, details, sort of subconsciously, that not only is Spike laid back, but he's also very reckless. He doesn't really care about his personal well-being, as we see in these episodes, the way he sort of goes after these bounties. And obviously Jet is more serious, more careful, calculated. And that's so you gotta have that dynamic duo, right? More reckless character, you're more sort of calculated character.
Yeah, it definitely
feels a dynamic duo.
It definitely feels like Spike throughout the series is very reckless, and he probably just, it could be kind of like a tendency to just end it,
You get the sense not to, we're only talking about the first 3 episodes here, but throughout the series, you definitely get the idea that Spike does not really care about his personal well-being and is very, very reckless, as if he just doesn't care if he lives or dies.
Exactly, and that's what makes him such a great bounty hunter, though. He'll go to those edges, he'll go to those places where other people won't go, and he could get things done that other people won't be able to get done.
True. And so they're going after this guy who's selling Red Eye, which is this. I'm assuming this universe's equivalent of spice or whatever other space drugs that are usually in these type of shows.
It's actually called Bloody Eye.
Bloody Eye. Sorry, maybe I got that mixed up with like Spice and Red Spice or whatever the other show. You know how it is in these sci-fi shows. There's always some sort of like crazy drug out there.
Yeah, and then apparently, it gives you their super strength or super speed. I think a little bit of both. Yeah,
it's real. It looks real intense. It's eye spray, right? Or it's like some sort of like spray it right on the eye, and it just works instantly. There's no waiting period. It just works.
Yeah.
Because we actually see one of the first scenes we see of the bounty target is he's trying to sell some of this Bloody Eye. And the bartender he's trying to sell to wants him to test it. Right as they're going to get jumped by gangsters. And then you see the character's name is Asimov that they're going after. So he takes the Bloody Eye and he just fucks these people up with his fists and the Bloody Eye. These guys are shooting at him. He's like dodging bullets. He's fucking these people. Yeah, he kills everybody.
I just call that a regular Tuesday for me, Dylan.
Well, wait. Today's Tuesday when we're recording this podcast.
Yeah, I know. You didn't know what I was doing 3 hours ago.
or later today. You're gonna you got your double vaccine. Now time to take the Bloody Eye.
I'm just saying, no one can stop me.
Hey, bars are opening back up. Let's go. So one other thing I want to discuss, sort of overall, sort of a broader thing for the show is in similar way we're talking about the first scene with Spike and Jet. I think this show does a good job of environmental world building and storytelling as well. Because this is a sci-fi show, you're not going to spend the time establishing, like, this is when people could fly in space. This is how humanity built a city on Mars. This is how a city built this colony on an asteroid. And everyone's cool with it. Like, you're not going to go through all those explanations. But I think the show does a good job of just showing the process of, like, the Bebop going into port, into the Tijuana, I think it's the first asteroid to go to. And there's also little things as well, like when we meet the old men later on, there's these recurring characters of 3 old men. it sort of shows that this world is still old-fashioned. Like, they still play cards at a bar that is indistinguishable from, like, a bar that you would see in modern times.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of shows back then, when they were doing sci-fi stuff, they still had to keep a lot of the older tropes because you don't really know how different the future is going to be in 10, 20 years, We might have seen, like, cell phones and stuff, but a lot of it was still pretty old, like, just a regular bar. No one could think that right now. If this show was made right now, that bar
there'd be no one
wouldn't
in
even
the bars.
exist.
Everyone would be inside.
That bar wouldn't even exist because everyone would just be getting their drinks Ubered to them.
Yeah, which apparently ends in Boston on June 15th. I saw on Twitter. So, last chance to get your drinks delivered to you before that shuts down.
Well, it was a great scam while it was going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a sign of things to come, right? It's on one hand negative, on the other hand, this means that people can go outside and not fear death.
One of the great things that happened in the episode was Jet comes in with his spaceship and then just shoots down the bar. He's like, do, 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 do. Right, Dylan?
Wait, he doesn't shoot down the bar.
Yeah, he does.
He enters the bar and it's already been shot up, and then like two extra gangsters, and they're like, where'd Asimov go? I don't know. He got the bloody eye. Jet knocks one of them out with the bottle, and then sort of puts one in an arm lock with his metal arm, and that's how he gets the details.
You're right. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes. I accidentally read it wrong. I put down Jet shows up at the shot up bar. I read Jet shoots up the bar.
Read? That is a good scene though. Sort of shows they're going on different paths. Like Spike is doing his thing by visiting the shaman and following those sort of clues, and Jet's doing more on the ground, boots on the ground, information gathering.
There's another scene I really like where Spike runs into the girl as she's carrying groceries, and then they all fall over, and then he helps her up, and then as he's walking away, he has a hot dog in his mouth. He's like, oh, and he takes it out, and then he gives it back to her, and she's like, you can keep it. And then
he pulls out like seven other things. Yeah, it shows that he's the classic sort of anime protagonist where he's very, very skilled at many things. One of them for Spike being pickpocketing.
Yeah, and he's also a goofy and lovable character as well.
And even before that, there's a really, I think, great scene where Asimov is in the bathroom sort of feeling the after effects of using the bloody eye. And Spike's in like one of the stalls, and he opens the door, and there's like that tense moment where you can sort of see that Spike recognizes Asimov, but he doesn't like act on it. He just sort of just washes his hands and walks out. But, sort of showing that, like, obviously Spike is more skilled than he's letting most people know.
Yeah, that's a great scene as well.
And so that conversation with the woman, which I did not get a name for in the episode.
I don't think they ever gave a name for her in the episode because I tried to go back and I didn't see anything.
Me neither.
But I just think maybe it was Maria?
That sounds about right. But she's talking to Spike, she's talking. I had it right. Damn it! Fuck.
What happened?
Start again. I said the right thing and then tried to correct myself, but I already said the right thing. Cut all of this shit. This is the worst podcast episode.
Cut this shit.
I'm sorry.
Cut this shit.
Cut it. This is gonna be so much editing. Tomorrow I'll be good. Okay. What was I even saying? So yeah, in the conversation between the woman and Spike, he lets on that he knows that she's with Asimov. They're trying to run away to Mars, but as that's happening, he gets choked out. And but the woman tells him to stop because they were kind of flirting a little bit. She kind of you can tell she might kind of like Spike a little bit.
I mean, who doesn't with those dreamy eyes?
Oh yeah, he's a real dreamboat. And this is sort of, so many things in these shows sort of build, are introduced and then built upon, right? So he meets the woman by pickpocketing her and then ends the interaction with Asimov by pickpocketing the red eye off of him. So, it's really, that stuff is, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
True. So yeah, they jump on their spaceship, and I think they're running away from the gangsters that showed
running
up.
away from gangsters, and I think the cops too at this point, because I think they're suspects in the shooting up of that bar, or because Asimov's a police car rides by and he's like hiding, and he's going to another bar where we see the three goofy old men again playing cards. Right? Yep. I love those guys. They're just constantly yelling like, "I built this gate back in the day." Yeah, we know, we were there.
Me and my two friends. You should have been there. We built. We
are the two friends, and those guys appear throughout the show. It's real. Those guys are real great. And so I think at this point, Asimov is trying to do another deal for Red Eye, but the person he's talking to is really Spike wearing a poncho and a sombrero.
Yep, and then it
that
leads
into a really awesome fight scene.
That fight scene is just beautiful. Like, for a show made in the 1990s to have like such beautiful choreography like that, you don't really see it a lot, because honestly the budget would just be ridiculous just for that one scene.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's animation for you, right? Like they can animate things in ways that you physically just can't really shoot in person.
Yeah, it's why like a lot of anime just doesn't translate well into like real life. Like when they try to remake Dragon Ball Z with Dragon Ball Evolution, you know.
I was about to say Dragon Ball Evolution.
Beat you to it.
Hey, Geeko.
Hey, is that you, Piccolo?
No, but you remember when he got called Geeko by those geeks and then he beat them up at Chi-Chi's party?
I did not. I'm trying to forget that movie.
Oh, we're gonna watch that movie next, or not next, but we're gonna watch that movie maybe for April Fool's Day, in like a year from now.
So I have a year to save up my brain cells.
Yes, yeah. I watched it in like 2010, and I'm still recovering.
Very true. The choreography in this scene is just beautiful. The way Spike moves, and even while Asimov is on the Red Eye, he's still no match for Spike.
This is like, he's not on the Red Eye at this point because he's getting the shit kicked out of him. He's like recovering from the Red Eye because he's like sweating a lot, you know. So Spike has his number. But then they get ambushed by more gangsters. They give chase. Really, really, really kind of beautiful lead up to the end of the episode where I said Amazon instead of Asimov.
Yeah, I remember when Amazon was taking his girlfriend to Mars and was like, "Yo, baby, you got my bloody eye."
Yo, baby, we're gonna make millions selling books on Mars. We're gonna start as a website that sells books. And then we're gonna sell everything, and also TV shows.
That final scene is just a beautiful shot between Jeff Bezos and his ex-wife as she's divorcing him.
That's Bill Gates. Bill Gates got the divorce.
No, Jeff Bezos got a divorce too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's up with rich old white men?
They love divorces.
Love them. Well, I mean, they don't.
Well, they can afford it.
They can afford. Yeah. Oh my God, this is terrible. Oh.
Cut all this out.
Yeah.
We're not getting sued. I'm not going down for defamation.
Back to the episode. Asimov ODs on Red Eye, like the vial break, or one pivotal scene before that is that the woman Maria the whole episode's had a big old pregnant belly, as to I assume look more inconspicuous until when they're fighting, they get ambushed by the gangsters. She gets shot in the stomach, and a bunch of Red Eye flies out. So really, it's not a real pregnant belly. She's just been storing all the Red Eye. As they're flying away, Asimov trying to use the Red Eye and drive, and the whole thing breaks in his eye, which I have to assume some glass gets in there too, so that's gotta be painful as fuck. I mean, I hate doing regular eye drops, so I can't even imagine doing drug eye drops.
And like such a iconic scene is where she takes his life before the cops kill him.
Yeah,
kind of like sparing him.
His face when he's like flying out before the end is he just looks so crazed and manic, and she's coming to, like you said, she's coming to terms with the fact that like, we're not getting out of this. I'm never going to Mars. And yeah, she ends his life. Spike sees it, And right as the police blockade blows up the ship, there's a, like you said, beautiful shot of her body and the red eye flying out into space. And our heroes go through all this effort to get no bounty.
Yeah, and that pretty much wraps up episode 1.
Yeah, which is a theme throughout these first episodes is Spike and Jet not getting the bounty at the end of their escapades.
Yeah.
Then there's just one thing. There's a cool shot. It's a little goofy when at the end they're sort of wrapping it back around where they're basically back on the ship doing the same thing. Jet's cooking, Spike is practicing karate, and bell peppers and beef, and then passes a cigarette through him through zero gravity, even though they're both standing. That's a real nitpick, but it's still cool nonetheless. Like that stuff doesn't have to be explained in a show like this. No one cares that like, well, how are they passing the cigarette through zero gravity? Wouldn't they both be floating? Why are they both standing and passing a cigarette through zero gravity? There must be some gravity.
You see?
Yeah, I don't know. Was that like a New York gangster voice?
You see?
I was trying to go more nerdy, like in the comic number 2 of Superman Returns, he has kryptonite eye beams, or something. I don't know. Cut that
you would
too.
know that, you nerd.
I've never. You caught me.
Yeah, it's honestly a great episode though. For a pilot, excellent.
Yeah, and a great start to the. It does a great job of setting up the universe, these two characters, their relationship, and you don't feel like you're missing any information. Like obviously, through a whole season, there's like 25 episodes or something. We're gonna learn more about these people's backstories and what's going on. It's basically sort of a day in a life episode in a way, like not to do another comic book reference, but this does feel like issue 132 of Cowboy Bebop, where Spike and Jet go after a drug dealer. Like this is sort of what they're trying to do. This doesn't have like a intertwine to the main plot much. This is just establishing who these guys are, what they do, what this world is like. It's very analog. The ships are very kind of old or more mechanical. People still just hang out in bars and play. They play playing cards, like some of those like sci-fi futures where everyone's in like a VR headset. Like every future is like Ready Player One, where people are just gaming all the time. Like this is very much more grounded.
I can't hear you while I have my VR headset on, so you're gonna have to speak louder.
Yeah, this actually podcasts where we're in VR headsets looking at each other.
Dylan, put on your pants. You're disgusting me.
My VR pants or my real pants?
Both, you sicko.
And let's talk about episode 2.
Episode 2, Stray Dog Strut.
Where we meet another one of the main characters, the corgi called Ein. And this is before corgis got popular again in like 2012.
Corgis were popular?
They were like the number 1 meme dog before Shiba Inu took over.
I don't know. I feel like
corgis
were
the huge,
meme dog, right? Aren't the corgis the Dogecoin?
No, that's Shiba Inu.
Oh, okay. See,
which are
really
like also
dogs.
Notoriously like they're not like Shiba Inus aren't like very friendly dogs. They're kind of just like they're more like cats if anything. So it's funny that that's become like the meme coin because they're not like corgis. People like corgis because they're like they're cute and friendly and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, in this episode we meet a corgi.
Yep. So we start off the episode with the little cowboy show that you're gonna see that appears more throughout the episode.
Big Shot Bounty Hunter Show.
Yep.
Which is another great piece of world building that bounty hunting is so common, 300,000 of them, so the show claims. Enough of them that they can they have a whole show dedicated to reporting on bounties.
Yeah. As we see their largest bounty for the day is a Abdul Hakim who stole something from somebody, and his bounty was 8 million.
8 million oolongs, which I assume oolongs are probably just the equivalent of yen. So 8 million oolongs is like, I don't know the conversion, like $100,000.
Sure, that sounds like numbers.
Let's see. I'm gonna look it up right now.
While Dylan is
Yen
doing
to American
calculations, I'll just be singing in the background. La 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 la. Dylan, you done with those calculations yet?
If we're saying that yens are oolongs, 1 yen is 0.0092 of the United States dollar as of today, May 25th, 2021, because that shit's always in fluctuation. So that would be like $73,000 that they'd be earning.
That's it? That's like nothing.
I could use $73,000 if anyone wants to donate.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like, if I'm a bounty hunter and I'm going after these dudes, I'd want a little bit more than $73,000.
I'm not too, maybe it is, they're not exactly living the ritzy lifestyle. They live on a freighter ship and basically just getting enough for ship fuel and food and things like that and getting to their next bounties. So, but compared to the other ones that were like $1 million would be like not even $100,000 if this conversion's correct.
Not even... Well, maybe like 10 grand. You got to think about how much
$9,191.45.
It's all about 10 grand. So is that enough for fuel, food, going to the casino?
I'm not a space bounty hunter, so I don't really know.
Well, if you were, we would have had these calculations and the people would be happily knowing this information.
Damn it.
But because you failed me...
I guess I gotta call Elon Musk, see if I can become a space bounty hunter.
Yeah, just ask for that. Just ask when the car's coming back around so I can pick you up.
Yeah. I'll hit him on Twitter. So yeah, the Big Bounty Hunter show, they see the Abdul Hakim character who has had a full body plastic surgery operation to look completely different.
The only reason they find out that Abdul Hakim has gotten plastic surgery is because the doctor who Abdul Hakim beat up after giving him the plastic surgery calls Spike and Jet personally and say, "Hey, you got a couple of oolongs for me? I can tell you how Abdul," which is very low. It's like what, $10?
Hold on. Let me hit up the calculation. $2.76.
It's not even enough for a bag of chips.
This is a doctor. This is a doctor who, if he's a legit doctor, he has spent at least 8 years or 12 years in school to get all this. And
get that $2. And honestly, it would have been hilarious if that rounded up to about $3.50. God
yeah,
dang,
I guess
Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, it was basically just like 100 yen, or 100 yen is basically a little less than $1. So. They pay him $3 to get the details.
Poor man.
And of course, we are assuming, I don't know what oolongs cost in real life. I know that oolong is a tea.
And oolong is the character's name from Dragon Ball, the pig.
The pig who steals the panties.
Yep.
It's funny because he's a pig and he's a pervert. But yeah, back to this. They get the photo. This is a really great scene where Abdul's trying to get a drink. Some dude bumps into him and then yells at him for not talking to him. He's like, "What, you too good to apologize to me?" And then Hakim smashes a cockroach, puts it in his whiskey, and makes this dude drink a whiskey and cockroach drink.
That's what he gets for bumping into him.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect punishment, right?
A crime that fits.
It's like a protein shake.
I guess cockroaches would be rich in protein. I don't know, Dylan. I don't eat cockroaches.
Hey, coronavirus has been rough. Some people gotta eat cockroaches. And then some guy steals the case. Some young kid, or not even kid, like teenager to young adult guy.
Some punk.
So, yeah, some punk swipes the case because that's obviously where the main prize is for this episode. And then we meet the scientist dudes who are looking for him, which they're kind of funny. One guy's just explaining doing the exposition. And the other guy's just seems that way.
It's basically like me and you,
Seems that way.
Seems that way. No, I'm the seems that way guy.
Yeah, you're definitely the sidekick. Thanks for the confirmation. Oh, suck it.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, what happens? He tries to sell what's in the case at the pet shop. Spike is convinced that this dude is Akeem and open up, and that's where we meet the little adorable Welsh corgi, which is only worth 2 oolongs.
2 oolongs? That's way less than the tip.
Which is not even 1 cent of American money.
Yikes.
Assuming that oolongs are yen. We're just having fun with this. We don't know the exact blah, blah, blah. And Spike just like gives up. He's like, fuck this. 2 oolongs. I'm out of here.
Pretty much. And then Abdul shows up to the pet store. I'm assuming he was just like, this guy's probably going to go to a pet store once he opens up the case. The dog jumps onto him. It seems like the dog does not like Hakeem very much.
Yeah, dog is. They say later in the episode that the dog is like super intelligent.
Yeah, he's a data
He doesn't
dog.
seem to like Hakeem. He seems to maybe know what Hakeem's up to. Maybe. Of course, we don't know because the dog doesn't talk. But there's a big old chase scene.
Yeah, he does.
After this,
the dog talks. He's like,
the dog does not talk.
Yeah, he does. He's like, can I have some Scooby snacks?
That's Scooby-Doo. You were watching Scooby. Did you watch Scooby-Doo instead of Cowboy Bebop?
No. It's not the same show?
I mean, there is a big, tall, lanky, lazy dude and a dog.
See? Basically the same show.
Oh God. Is Jet Fred? Oh shit. Daphne is Faye Valentine. And then Velma is Edward.
No, I'm Fred.
No, it makes sense. Oh God, it's all connected. Did Cowboy Bebop rip off of Scooby-Doo? These are real intense revelations.
You heard it here first, people. The People's Review has discovered that Cowboy Bebop is just another knockoff of Scooby-Doo. Who is Scrappy-Doo? That's my question.
No one cares about Scrappy-Doo.
But back to the episode. After discovering these great discoveries, we're like archaeologists. Going back to watch Scooby-Doo and then finding out that it's actually Cowboy Bebop this whole time.
Yeah, these are real. We're really stumbling upon some stuff this episode.
And then as the dog was running away in the episode, Spike, this dude's just in phenomenal shape. He's just running. He's beating the cars. He's just going hardcore, chasing after Abdul Hakim.
Dude does a lot of cardio.
He lifts, bro. He lifts.
They Spike and Abdul end up facing off on a bridge. The dog ends up jumping off onto a boat. Hakeem jumps onto the boat, which has the corgi fly off. Spike tries to jump off, lands in the water, and the dog lands on his head. And now Spike is up 1 dog and no bounty. Brings him back to the ship. I like how Jet gives him a collar, and Jet's just like totally accepting, like, oh, we got a dog now. But Spike hates dogs. Apparently.
I'll just say that if this dog is a Doge coin, he's already worth more than an oolong.
They're not Doge. It's Shiba Inus are the Doge animal.
Yep, you're right. This is a Doge.
Do you think that Scooby-Doo is a Doge coin? Doge?
Yeah, he's definitely a Doge. He wants Scooby snacks, and he's always like, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for these damn little kids.
I mean, I want some Scooby snacks.
I know. When I was a kid, I was always like, what's in those Scooby snacks? It kind of made you want to try like dog treats.
I don't know. I don't think I would take it that far. I'm not trying to eat a dog treat.
Yeah, but if Scooby-Doo likes it and Shaggy likes it, hello.
Yeah, Shaggy is
I'm
homeless.
going to like it.
Shaggy lives in a van. He lives in the Mystery Machine.
I mean, so does Fred, Velma, and Daphne, and they're not
Yeah,
homeless.
but they probably have jobs. This guy's a stoner.
I don't know.
Anyways, talking about my favorite anime, Scooby-Doo Adventures. And this episode basically ends with another chase scene. Spike's walking the dog. The scientists they sound up one of those dog whistles that the pitch that only dogs can hear.
There's a great line when the guy's like, can you turn on the dog whistle? Then he's like, they turn on the dog whistle. Then he's like, I can't hear it. And the other guy's like, it's high pitch. Only animals can hear it. And he's like, I knew that. Just testing you, bro.
Did you ever? I remember back in my high school. Well, there would be a local carnival fair, and when they wanted all the kids to leave, they would play one of those high pitched noises that was too high for regular adults to hear, but kids and teens could hear it, and they would just go fuck off.
Really? I don't ever recall that.
Yeah, I remember hearing it too. They're like, oh, they want us to leave.
That's weird.
works on dogs, works on shitty teenagers too.
Why not, right?
But yeah, a bunch of dogs freak out, including the corgi. Hakeem grabs it in his car. The scientists are chasing them in their truck, but the corgi, he jumps out of the car off the bridge, and Spike, being the real good guy that he is, goes to save the dog instead of the bounty. And Hakeem and those scientist dudes run off a cliff, and once again, our heroes are left with no bounty, but this time they got a dog, so...
That's already a much improvement over the last time. They at least got something out of it.
Yeah, and Spike does a thing where he pretends to hate the dog, but Jet's like, you saved the dog. Because he's really, he's a good guy at heart. He just doesn't want people to know he likes dogs or something.
I don't want you guys to know that I really love Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You've been talking about it nonstop, so I think you want everyone to know that you like Scooby-Doo.
I hate Scooby-Doo, and I hate Scooby Snacks. I'm just saying. But
yeah, another episode, but this time gaining a more consistent cast member. So now it's 2 guys and a dog. And on episode 3, we meet another character who will be recurring throughout the show.
I'll have to say, episode 2 was solid, but not as good as episode 1, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Episode 1's a really good starting episode. And this is like, continuation of the fun.
So now we're moving on to episode 3, Honky Tonk Women.
Honky Tonk, my pickup truck. Wait, no, that's country music.
My pickup truck,
blue jeans,
Miller Lite, and pickup trucks.
Remember that terrible song, Center Field?
No.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. I think it got popular because of the Red Sox. Or at least in our area.
Dude, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, well, you remember every episode of Scooby-Doo, but you don't remember a terrible country song?
Yeah,
I'd say you're better off.
Listen, because Scooby-Doo is always the same thing, It's always, these stupid fucking kids, they got me. I'm a fucking stupid adult who can't fucking pull off a great scam. Look at me.
Yeah, that's the exact line, too. They're like, I'm a fucking moron.
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for these darn meddling kids and that
these
stupid Scooby
kids and their stupid mutt dog.
You stupid mutt.
Remember that live action Scooby-Doo? That just entered my mind for the first time in 100 years.
Well, it's such a great work of art. You just never forget it.
No, it isn't. I'm here to say definitively, having not seen it for a few... It was bad at the time, too. It wasn't even one of those movies that aged poorly. That was bad then.
No, yeah, it was terrible. I do remember going to the movie theaters and watching it, but it was mostly because my niece really likes Scooby-Doo.
We've all had those moments where we've gone to a movie not because we wanted to, but because someone else wanted to, and you don't want to be a dick. So you're like, yeah, sure, I'll see this. And I think it's also good to see trash as well, so that way you enjoy the good stuff a little more, because you know how bad it can get.
Yeah, like, I remember when Paranormal Activity 2 came out in theaters. Straight trash.
Oh, God. Well, Paranormal Activity's always been just... You know what the thing with Paranormal Activity is that, obviously, like, the whole premise is we set up cameras at night and we're seeing paranormal stuff. But obviously, through a movie, you're not going to sit through 8 hours of them sleeping. So it fast forwards and then it stops and then you're like, oh, so I guess something's going to happen now. The whole point of horror movies is that you don't know what's going to happen or when it's going to happen.
That's why they were fast forwarding it. Look.
Yeah, but that it's just it's inherently bad because as soon as it slows down to show you the paranormal activity, like, oh, I guess a paranormal activity is going to happen.
True.
I guess is the name of the movie. I guess they're just trying to capitalize on the Blair Witch phenomenon, right?
Yeah, no, that was like 6 years after. Blair Witch came out like 99, 2000.
Yeah, but they're trying to capitalize on that, like, oh, we found this footage. It's a found footage film, like.
Ugh.
But the problem is that, or the thing is that they severely misunderstood why Blair Witch was popular in the first place is because it was an indie film made by 3 people who legitimately made people believe that it was a found footage film. and didn't have any of the AAA film trappings. It literally was just a film that looked like 3 college kids went in the woods and found some scary shit. And that phenomenon carried the movie, sort of helped it become more than it actually was, Anyways, that's my tangent for today.
All right, I'm going to get us back into the episode.
Yeah, someone has to.
Episode 3, Honky Tonk Women.
Honky Tonk!
We see what is going to be soon a recurring character in the show, Faye Valentine, entering a pawn shop, I believe.
Something like, or cigar bar, because she starts smoking some cigars.
So she walks in, she's all flirtatious with the guy. And then afterwards, it looks like behind her are a couple of gangsters from
Lots of gangsters in the world of Cowboy Bebop.
Well, I assume Cowboy
endless
Bebop...
amounts of gangsters.
Well, I assume Cowboy Bebop is in a world where crime is more rampant because, there's a lot of planet to cover and not a lot of probably police officers to surveil everything. Or whatever would be the equivalent.
There's 300,000 bounty hunters in this world. So there's a lot of vigilante justice.
Hey, they just want to be the Batman. I'm Batman.
No, I'm Batman.
No, I'm Batman.
So yeah, she gets ambushed by some gangsters, but she gets the drop on these 3 gangsters. But then 100 gangsters roll up and they capture her. She has a huge debt, apparently, and she's going to work for this casino boss to help pay off that debt.
What I thought was funny was the casino.
Yeah, it was the casino. Did I say that?
No, yeah, I was talking about the casino itself, where it's just like a giant roulette.
Oh yeah, that's real good. Yeah, the big giant roulette wheel spaceship casino, and conveniently, our boys Spike and Jet are heading to the casino to try to win some money or scam some money out of the casino, because Jet warns Spike not to play because apparently he's just too good at poker.
There are some people out there, they're just so good at the game, might as well never play it.
True. This is where, if I had a criticism, this is where Spike trails into a little bit of Mary Sue territory, where there's just what isn't he good at? He's good at everything. He's the coolest guy. He knows kung fu. He has a gun. He can do casino stuff. He's good with ladies. Well,
I know one thing Spike's not great at. He doesn't even have a long-term girlfriend, so suck on that, Spike.
Well, that's because he's tortured soul, man. He's a tortured soul.
All I'm hearing is excuses. I'm not hearing action by Spike. Get yourself a long-term girlfriend. Sign up to Tinder, Spike.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you get the long-term girlfriend. Is swiping on people's bios saying, I'd like The Office.
Or, I love Parks and Rec. I'm a Leslie.
Just looking for the whatever to my Leslie. I don't know.
One that was prevalent in 2014-15 was just looking for my Jim.
Yeah, Pam to my, or Jim to my Pam.
Yep.
Ugh.
Guess what, people? That's the most basic shit ever. Don't put that on your fucking bio.
Or what I also find really boring about people's bios is just saying I like drinking mimosas or getting drunk at the bar. All right, that's not unique at all. So
yeah, guess what, you basic bitch? You basic.
Great, you like to get fucked up. So does everyone else in this miserable hellscape we call living in 2021. Congratulations.
Exactly. You're not special.
So yeah, we see the 3 old men playing poker again, and
Love
Spike helps them choose the right card to help them win. Yeah, love these old guys. And
he gets a nice tip.
Grabs a few starter chips, so he can go play poker at the table that Faye is running. I forget what the term. He's the dealer. She's dealing at a table. He walks up, and we get a little flashback where she's looking to get a specific poker chip that has a microchip in it, so it's like a double chip.
It's not poker, Dylan. It's blackjack.
Who cares? No one cares.
I care. As a gambler, I care.
Yeah, no, you're right. Blackjack. She's running a blackjack table, and we get a little flashback where she's trying to get a special poker chip from a guy, where she's gonna clean him out of all his chips, and then he's gonna have one chip left. She's gonna tip her with that chip, and then she's gonna give it to the boss, and all her debt disappears. We don't know how much that debt is, but it is assumed to be quite a lot. Faye thinks that Spike is that dude, even though the picture that they show later on is like another dude.
The TV monitor she's looking at, it's all like scratchy. I guess in even the 2100s, they still can't figure out monitors for some reason.
I mean, can you imagine trying to set up local Wi-Fi on a spinning roulette wheel ship?
Easy. It's all about the access points, baby.
True. I will say, like, this similar but not at all. When I was working on the cruise ship, the Wi-Fi situation there was very bad because they had to try to, it's all metal walls and floors and stuff. So no matter how many Wi-Fi access points you set up, there's always going to be that interference,
Yeah, you pretty much have to set up one per room at that
Which
point.
would be a whole lot.
Well, honestly, if you're a cruise ship, you could probably afford it. One access point is like, what, $70? You're probably making like $6.3 billion.
Yeah, for the passengers maybe, but for us crew members, we just get to pay, $40 for 666 megabytes of internet?
Like total?
Yeah, and then when that runs out, you gotta go buy more.
That's crazy. That shit was expensive. When I went on my cruise, I think it was like $20 a day. I was like, fuck off.
Yeah, because they like you guys. The people who work there can just go fuck themselves. So
I'm not paying $140 just to look at memes. I was like, I'm just going to save up a bunch of memes and then look at them later.
You know what? I legitimately did that. On like one of my old phones, I have like folders full of memes that I would just look at offline. It sounds really fucking depressing saying it now.
It does. It sounds so fucking sad.
No, going off port to find a Wi-Fi access point was like the highlight of any port trip.
I bet. I was like,
it's like, oh, you got Wi-Fi? Or if we were going to an American port, at least I would have my American phone service because I didn't have an international plane or anything like that, so I would at least get that. But yeah, if you find a bar, it's like, Wi-Fi, please. Buying 10 beers here is still cheaper than buying Wi-Fi on the ship. Luckily, Wi-Fi is not a big deal in the Cowboy Bebop universe. Or I guess it is, because that's exactly how we got on this tangent, is that she sees a blurry screen, sees kind of a vague approximation of a white dude with brown, messy hair. Spike is a white dude with brown, messy hair, assumes it's him. They play, and then, Spike's down to one chip. Faye expects him to give it to her, and he just walks away. And then she causes a big scene.
I think she's chasing him throughout the casino, and then she's like, "You're supposed to give me the chip. That's the whole part of the deal." And then he's like, "Listen, lady, while you were the whole game cheating, you want me to give you my last chip?"
Then everyone's like,
that's
"Oh,
not how
my
it plays."
word, she was cheating? Oh my god, I lost all my chips to her." And then at some point, either before or after this, Spike actually bumps into the lookalike guy, and they do that thing where they bump into each other and they sort of swap chips, where Spike's chip lands near him, and that dude picks it up, and Spike picks up the actual microchip chip, and they cause a scene. He gets jumped by some bouncers, so he starts fighting all the bouncers in the casino. And I like that Jet pulls up, and he's like, "Oh, there's a fight happening," and then is very disappointed to see Spike in the middle of it because he knows he has to pull him out of another mess.
Pretty much. And then they escape the casino and land on Faye's ship, who's also trying to escape.
Oh, yeah, that's a great scene where she's like turned around to see the aftermath, turns to the front of the ship, and they're just like smiling on the front. And then they capture her to try to see what the chip's worth. The dudes at the casino are very upset. They put a $8 million bounty, or $6 million. $6 million oolongs bounty on her. So now they're going to turn her in for a bounty and I guess just do something else with the chip. Well, no. Jet figures out what the chip is because he describes that to the casino boss later on, and that's when we feel that he's like a former detective cop guy, which is why he's a little more organized and things like that.
There was this one little great line from Faye when she was trapped in the bathroom. She's like, I'm a gypsy. I can't be locked down to one place. I need to be on the move. I need to be free.
Yeah, because that's all like the bullshit you say when you're captured. Like, no, you can't tie me up here. I'm allergic.
I'm allergic to rope. See these hives?
No, I need sugar. My blood sugar's down. I need to go drink Coca-Cola right now.
Yeah, you need to give me my insulin shot right in my right butt cheek. Not my left butt cheek, but my right butt cheek. Okay, bud?
Well, she does get one hand uncuffed because she's like, I can't even go to the freaking bathroom. And so Jet, being the good guy, uncuffs one, which ends up leading her to be able to escape.
Yeah, and then Spike and Jet contact the casino owner, and he said for whatever hundreds of millions of oolongs.
300 million oolongs.
But they settled for 30 million oolongs.
All right, let's I'm putting it into the calculations. Wait, how many zeros is 330 million?
30 million? That's 7 zeros. Dylan is doing calculations. Dylan is doing calculations.
I friggin' hate math. So that would be like $275,000.
Which is ass money, because if this was a movie, it would be $40 million dues.
Or like that part in Austin Powers where Dr. Evil's trying to negotiate, but he's from the past, so he says, $1 million, and all the guys are laughing like, all right, that's nothing now. And he's like, 100 million, and then they all freak out.
Yeah.
But they set it up, and they have really sleek spacesuits. You know, this is probably the most futuristic the show is.
Yeah, it's a pretty nifty suit.
Considering that, like, you know, regular spacesuits are like really bulky and like with the big head and everything, like they look like Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob. This is another really clever Spike scene where he anticipates that there's going to be an ambush, and on the casino guy's ship there's like a spinning thing. I don't know what the term for it would be, but you know what I mean. It's like a spinning thingy-mabob.
Yep, a spinner.
Yeah, I think that's the official name. I'll have to call Elon about that. There's a spinning thing, and he gets the perfect timing, and so the bullets that they shoot during the ambush get blocked, and Spike can fly away and avoid getting shot at. And then at the same time, Faye escapes in her ship out of the Bebop. A really fun scene where she's getting shot at with rockets, and apparently she does something where she, quote unquote, reverses the polarity of the rockets.
That seems like a real thing.
That they go fly back at the casino owner's ship. That blows up. So casino guys are dead. Faye escapes. And Spike is left with no money and a microchip. So once again, our heroes are left with no bounty and basically no money.
But in the final scene, you see them go back to the casino and saying, might as well make use of this.
Yeah, get one chip. We got to eat tonight, Spike. You better win some blackjack.
And that's pretty much episode 3, right?
Yeah, no, these are like with any show, like your first few episodes are really there to establish the world, these characters, and I think these do a really great job of that. You know, we learn little nuggets of backstory. Like in the very beginning, you have a little montage of Spike getting shot a bunch, which is a little hint to maybe he has a more tragic backstory. We learn that Jet used to be a police officer and things like that. And even without that stuff, you learn so much about, you know, how they act based on just how they talk to each other, like we mentioned earlier. So the show does a great job of building the characters and building these episodes up until, you know, the dramatic conclusions and whatnot. So looking forward to watching these next episodes. We're going to probably watch episodes, 4 through 6 next?
So, actually, I think we're going to jump back into the movie world for the next podcast. I believe we've discussed talking about...
We're watching Dragon Ball Evolution.
We've discussed watching, not Dragon Ball Evolution, but Scarface. I think it's time.
Yeah. Yeah, let's watch some Scarface, which is... what did you say? Would you say that that's your favorite movie?
Scarface is, to me, my top movie. It's in my top 5 for sure. And as someone who's watched this movie, I want to say at least 15 to 20 times since I was 8 years old.
You watched this when you were 8?
Yeah, my parents were very don't care. So, yeah, I watched Scarface when I was 8.
Yeah, no, I had on a similar track. I had 2 older brothers. One about 5 years older, one about 2.5 years older. And so I just got to watch whatever they were watching, and they started watching Adult Swim in like the early 2000s. So I saw all those C-Lab and Aqua Teen Hunger Force at a young age.
Yeah, I was the youngest of my siblings by like 8 years. So there was a gap between my sister and me, and it's 8 years. All my other siblings were way older. So my siblings were already adults when I was like 8. So
Interesting, yeah.
So watching movies, I just watch pretty much whatever
they're just
I wanted.
It's more effort to tell you to go away than it's just be like, all right, tag along, sure, come in here.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just don't kill anybody.
And honestly, I was never a violent person. So movies and video games never affected me, and I played GTA 3,
Vice
City, San Andreas, all when I was like 8 to 12 years old.
Oh yeah,
and those
were
were
a
like
lot of Vice City.
Exactly.
That was my introduction to Grand Theft Auto, was Vice City.
Oh, you didn't play GTA 3 first?
No, I did not. I was until relatively recently in my life, I was always about 5 years behind on consoles. So basically, my only time to get to play new consoles was at friends' houses. So my buddy had Vice City, and we would just go on, rampages and stuff. So, and I didn't get my own PlayStation 2 until like much later on. So I didn't even beat GTA 3 until like a couple years ago, and that was on PC.
Oh wow. Well, I had an older brother, so he had a PlayStation 2, so I would be able to play GTA 3 when he wasn't around.
Nice. GTA 3 is interesting because it's basically, I'm very interested in like these video game series that have gone on for like many years, and to see how similar they still are. Like if you go back to GTA 1, it's still basically GTA 5. Big city, NPCs, you steal cars, do missions, all that stuff. And GTA 3 has a mini-map, but basically no labels. Like no ammunitions are labeled, no paint sprays are labeled. So you just have to know where those are if you want to like play the game.
Yeah, it definitely makes the game a lot harder to play. I remember playing GTA 3, and I would always get stuck on that mission where you have to help 8-Ball get to the ship, and he has to plant the bombs.
Oh, that mission's so hard.
It's very hard, and when I was a kid, that would be the mission I would always get stuck on. And then I didn't get to the second island until I was 11 years old.
There's a lot of real difficult missions in those older GTA games because they are a little bit janky, just as far as like movement and just like, all right, start a mission and 8 guys are shooting at you. You better run. There's no cover features in this game, so.
No, yeah, you better. I'll say that I did beat Vice City before I beat GTA 3, so I'm in the same boat as you.
And Vice City has such a good story too. I like Tommy and stuff. And of course, San Andreas just takes all that stuff to the upteenth level.
Yeah, when I played Vice City, I had already seen Scarface. I was like, they're just ripping off Scarface. This whole game is Scarface.
I had the opposite reaction to watching Scarface because I would have watched that in college for the first time. And I'm like, it's just Vice City. Like, oh, that's the mansion from Vice City. Oh, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt like the guy in Vice City.
Little did Dylan know that it was all a ripoff.
It's homage, they say.
Yes, an homage to the great Scarface. So we'll be seeing Antonio Montana next week. We'll be discussing how great of a movie Scarface is, and we promise we won't be on our knees the whole time.
Yeah. This episode, I'm not sure, because we're still recording it at this moment. So I'm not sure how much of the terribleness will be cut out, specifically my terribleness. So we'll be recovered from the vaccinations, and I'll be doing better next episode. Yes, yelling, and hopefully my brain is working.
his brain would be functioning next week. Oh, Dylan, I also beat Mass Effect 2 this past weekend. So I'm on to 3 right now.
Nice. Man, Mass Effect 2's ending is so good.
I got really mad because when I was playing Mass Effect 2, I forgot that there's a mission where after you do Jack's loyalty mission.
Oh, yeah, yep.
You do Jack's loyalty mission, Miranda and Jack get in a fight. I didn't have enough Paragon or Renegade to, squash the beef.
Oh,
so
no.
Miranda got disloyal, and then we went on the suicide mission, and Miranda was the only person that died.
Yeah, I had that happen to me on my first playthrough back in the day.
I totally forgot about it happening, and then I couldn't prevent it, so
yeah,
I missed out on an
point,
achievement.
It's too late. I wonder if you were to do Miranda's mission after that, would you be able to get the loyalty back?
Maybe, but by that time, I think I knocked out Miranda's mission.
Or
first.
or does it happen once you do both their missions?
I don't know. That's a good
But
question.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, she was basically being a total bitch to Jack. Because yeah, Jack's very surly, but she's also been tortured by Cerberus, and Miranda works for Cerberus and is trying to defend them. So totally on Jack's side for that one, morally.
Yeah, at least one good thing that's going to turn out of this is I won't have to see Miranda in Mass Effect 3. So right now I'm in the part where I see Garrus, so we're high-fiving, hugging. Liara's over there mad at me because I cheated on her with Tali. It's a big mess.
Oh man, I love how that stuff kind of plays out throughout each game. So my Mass Effect experience started on PC with Mass Effects 1 and 2 for Steam, but Mass Effect 3 was never released to Steam until this collection. So I ended up buying all the games on Origin because it was the easiest way to buy the games with all the DLC. And I loaded my old Mass Effect 2 save, and I forgot that I cheated on Liara with Miranda. And so playing through the opening of Mass Effect 3, she's like, "So what's up with that stuff with Miranda?" And I'm like, I literally don't remember that. Sorry. It was 2012. Forgive me.
Liara, I didn't mean to cheat. It was wrong.
That was 10 years ago. No one even remembers 2012 anymore.
Yeah, Liara, just get over
Liara.
it.
I'm trying to save the world from the Reapers. Get out of my face.
Liara, you weren't even on the suicide mission. You didn't know if we were even coming back. Tali, me, we were just kids at the time. It's been 3 years. And
Look,
you didn't
Liara,
even text
Earth's
me.
being destroyed. I gotta deal with this dumbass James who forced his way into my party. I don't have any time for your bullshit.
Ashley's in a coma, and I'm supposed to be sad about that for some reason. It's too much, all right, Liara?
Oh, poor space racist is in a coma.
I don't know. I think by Mass Effect 3, she's calmed down, She's
Yes.
finally taken some space weed. She's good to go.
She's chilled out on her Bible thumping anti-alien views. But even so, still better character than James.
Oh, dude, leaps and bounds. James is the worst. I just don't want to talk to him, and I don't want him in my party. I'm so glad I found Garrus so he doesn't have to be in it anymore.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where, at this point, you've saved the world twice. Pretty much everyone knows who Commander Shepard is. And then here comes James, who's just being real flippant. Just like, hey, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Hey, James, I fought the Reapers. I saved the galaxy twice. You're gonna shut the fucking fuck up. Shut the fuck up, James. I don't want to hear any of your bullshit. Who the fuck are you?
I'm James. Haha.
That's not even what James sounds like.
Well, to me, he does. Damn.
And then there's that, you fist fight him later on, and a character where you learn about his character during a sparring fist fight.
Ugh, I have to get to know him. Ugh.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you can. It's Mass Effect. You can just not talk to anyone. But I like talking to Cortez down there. So
Yeah, Cortez is funny.
Cortez is cool.
And then James always comes in, and he's always such a d-bag. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Hey, yeah, he's just
Cortez
constantly
are high-fiving, getting some shit done, bruh.
Yeah, Garrus is the ultimate bro. Maybe next to Rex.
Rex.
You could just have some drinks with Rex. He
Rex,
just he just
Garrus.
would chill out, just
You hang out with the boys, Rex and Garrus. You go home to Liara. And then your side piece is Tally.
There's side piece. Put some respect on her name. Actually, I think if you don't romance either Garrus or Tally, they end up getting together at the end.
Oh, man. Tally and Garrus are such a great couple. Why'd I ruin it by hitting
You had to
them?
ruin
Mass
it by
Effect
being
2?
unfaithful, you dickhead.
I can't
God.
believe I did that. I'm such a dick.
Yeah, me neither. I'm very disappointed in you. One last thing. I remember there's Rex is so good. I remember there's a line in Mass Effect 1 where you're like, so what's your background? What's your background, Rex? He's like, well, I'm trying to stop the genophage and stop all my people from dying. Beyond that, it's going okay. Or something like that. Just very deadpan and sarcastic.
Yeah, Rex isn't really bro until like midway to the game. He's more like, talking about himself. And
I mean, he's like an 800-year-old mercenary.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you can't not just like, be bros at the beginning.
Yeah, but think about how many bros he must have had who all got killed. It's comparatively, he's only seen humans for like a fraction of his life.
True.
So he's probably just still being like, who are these creatures?
Rex is always like, all I see around me is familiar faces.
He has that kind of playlist?
He does.
Do you think when he goes to fight, he puts on the headset and he's like, wake me up inside, wake me up inside, call my name and save me from the dark.
More than likely. I mean, Rex is just that type of dude.
Or is he going, keep rolling?
You can't see me. My time is now.
Oh, man. Or he might have Batista's music.
I don't remember what Batista's music was.
I walk for miles inside this pit of danger.
Ugh, is that a song? It's trash.
It's not trash. You should listen to Batista's theme song. It's real good.
You're not my mom, okay?
Oh, we should watch that Batista movie sometime. That just came out.
Which one? Army of the Dead?
The Zack Snyder film.
Oh, Army of Dead or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, we could put that on the list.
Yes, I want to see how Batista acts.
Hey.
We could do a wrestler acting ranking list.
It goes me, Batista, John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold.
Was Stone Cold in any movies? I can't imagine him acting.
Unless
he's just acting as Stone Cold.
He's in The Longest Yard.
Stone Cold is cool. His podcast is all right.
Yeah, this podcast is pretty good, I guess we should wrap up the episode, I
don't know when we stop talking about Cowboy Bebop. Like Jose said, we're going to be watching Scarface, the 1983 version, not the 1930s version, and next week for the next episode. Thanks everyone for listening. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'm also uploading all these to YouTube.
Don't forget about our website that just recently went up.
Oh, new website, www.peoplesreviewpodcast.com, where you can get links to all that stuff. Spotify, Apple, to YouTube. It's all cool stuff because we're cool guys and we got a cool podcast.
And thanks everybody for listening, and I hope you have a great weekend and an excellent night.
Stay safe, y'all.